everyone, it's Vicki from Minerva. Now in today's video I have chosen my top fabric picks for the Montana Midi Dress pattern by Arc. Now this was one of our top sellers of last year. This pattern is so popular, and if you look on the Minerva website on the product page for this pattern, you'll see so many versions that have been shared by the Minerva community. It just looks great in so many different types of fabric. It looks fantastic on everybody. It's a nice, easy, simple pattern to sew, so wearable. Like I say, it looks good in so many different fabrics. I can absolutely see why it's been a top seller. So we thought it'd be a good idea in today's video to give you some of our suggestions for fabrics that you could use to make this pattern. And what I've done is I have chosen some that would be more suitable for the colder seasons, right the way through to those fabrics that will be great for when it's nice and hot and more summery versions. So let's get stuck in, have a look at the fabrics, and we'll start with the more wintry, warmer fabrics and work our way through to the summery prints. So with this pattern, you want a fabric that will work with the gathers around the waist and will hang and drape beautifully. But having said that, some fabrics have a little bit more structure and a little bit more weight, are also suitable for the pattern, and those fabrics are often the ones that, you know, because they have a little bit more weight, might be more suitable to winter and when it's colder. So the first one I've got to share with you today is our absolutely luxurious 100% wool crepe fabric. And this comes in a whole selection of colours. This is one of the Minerva core ranges. So what that means is we stock these all year round, and we keep them in stock in a whole range of colours all the time. And this particular fabric we've stocked for years and years and years now, and it's just such a beautiful quality. Like I can be a little bit sensitive to wool sometimes, but the quality of this fabric is so soft. And it really doesn't, you know, there's not even a hint of scratchiness there that you sometimes get with wools. So it's absolutely beautiful. So you can see it's still got lots of beautiful drape. It will still gather really well in that skirt, and it has a lovely weight to it. But because it's wool, it's obviously going to keep you lovely and warm. So this will be a beautiful fabric to make this pattern in for the colder months. When what's more ideal than 100% wool fabric at that time of year, where you really want something to keep you warm. But it's such a beautiful fabric, comes in so many colourways, and it's one of the ultimate luxury fabrics is this one. It really is a wonderful cloth. Next up we have, so this is a polyester and viscose blend twill fabric. Now we class this this is in the suiting category on our site, so it's a twill suiting, but because of the quite high percentage of viscose content in there, it is actually relatively drapey. So not obviously as much as, let's say, a viscose challis or something like that would be, but for a suiting fabric, it actually has quite a lot of drape, and it's very, very soft. And it comes in lots of different check designs, does this fabric. Now this is one of my favourites, this rainbow check, I think is absolutely gorgeous. You know, these pastel colours with that black woven in there, really, really gorgeous. But it does come in, like I say, lots of different checks in lots of different colourways. And the weight and the weave of this twill fabric, I think, would make it perfect for this pattern. Again, for the colder times of year where you need something just a little bit warmer and a little bit more cosy. And you could team that with black tights and boots, a cardigan over the top. I think that would be an absolute winner. Next up, so this is it's a cotton fabric, and it's a brushed cotton. Hold that out there for you, be able to see. And this, again, is really, really soft. It's a brushed cotton, so that means that the surface of the fabric has had a process applied to it that brushes up the surface texture and makes it feel really, really soft. It's definitely more brushed on one side than the other. So you could either choose to have the really soft side against your skin or have that on the outside of the garment. It will be entirely up to you. And again, this comes in a whole range of different checks which are woven into the fabric. It's a really beautiful quality fabric, this one. Whole range of designs, and again, this is one that we stock all the time here at Minerva. And yeah, I think because of that brushed texture, even though it's a cotton fabric, it is going to have a warmth and a snuggliness about it that's going to make it perfect for that pattern for a winter version. And then the last fabric in the winter section is our beautiful needle cord fabric. Now I've chosen this gorgeous wine colour, but it does come in a whole range of colours. There's loads on the site. And this is a 21 wale needle cord. Now what that means is that the wale count is how many ribs there are in the cord per inch. So this means that there are 21 ribs per inch in the fabric. Now that's quite a fine cord. You can get like corduroy, which is say for example like an 8 wale or a 10 wale, that sort of thing, that would be classed as like a mid size. And then you can get corduroy like jumbo cord, which might only have 4 or 5 ribs per inch, and that's really, really chunky. Now I personally wouldn't go for anything chunkier than a 21 wale cord or a very fine needle cord anyway, because you still need this fabric to be able to gather up nicely around the waist. And this one is, as you can see, it definitely has some structure, this fabric, but it's still a light and soft enough cord to be able to draw in around that waist. But it is definitely going to give the whole look of the garment a little bit more structure than the other fabrics that I've shared with you so far. But you know, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's just a different look, which, you know, some people will like and some people it won't be for them. But I just think it would be really lovely in cord for autumn and winter. Cord has such a warm, cosy feel about it, doesn't it? And obviously that extra weight and that beautiful softness, I think that would be really beautiful to wear. And yeah, just something a bit different, you know, a different texture. Certainly different to the other 3 options I've given there. And yeah, I think that will be a really lovely one to pair with the Montana. So next up, we're going to look at fabrics, I guess, that are more sort of in between season. You could probably use these to make garments to sew for when it's a little bit colder and when it's a little bit warmer, but they probably wouldn't be the ones you choose for when it's absolutely freezing or absolutely boiling, if that makes sense. So yeah, these are great for, you know, so much of the year, certainly here in the UK anyway. So first up in this selection, we have a double cotton gauze. Now, double cotton gauze is basically 2 layers of single gauze fabric that have been stitched together to create one fabric. Now, a layer of single gauze is, in this case with it being 100% cotton, is a very fine, quite loosely woven 100% cotton gauze fabric. So if it was just a single layer of cotton gauze, you know, it would be see-through and, you know, unless you lined it, wouldn't be suitable for a dress. But a double cotton gauze, because you've got the 2 layers there, it's absolutely not a see-through fabric at all. It has a wafty, airy, billowy sort of drape to it, and it's just, I think it would be perfect for this dress. Now, with it being cotton, it's certainly very breathable and it keeps you cool in summer, but because it can trap air between the layers of the 2 layers of gauze, it's actually quite a good fabric to wear in autumn, winter too. It's one of those like magical fabrics that has the properties of being able to keep you warm and cool depending on the temperature. Now this one is, again, it's one of our core range fabrics at Minerva, so we stock it all the time, and this is the navy blue, and this particular gauze has these almost like metallic gel little blobs or dots or spots scattered all over the surface. So hopefully you can see that on camera. It's just a little bit different. Of course, we do stock plain double cotton gauze as well if you just wanted a plain one, but I just thought this was a little bit different and a little bit special and would be really lovely in the Montana. It also has a crinkled texture as well, which I think is really lovely. And yeah, would just really suit the relaxed casual vibe of the Montana dress. Next up we have, so this is our vintage washed cotton linen look fabric. So this fabric, you would really be forgiven for thinking that it was linen. It really does look like linen. It has that crinkled, lived in, washed, sort of rustic texture. You can see the slubs in the weave. It's really, really beautiful. However, it's made completely of cotton. So it's quite unusual really. And it definitely has a feel more of cotton than it does linen, but it really has this wonderful texture that to me just looks like linen. So what this means is it's going to crease a little bit less than quite a lot less actually than what 100% linen fabric would do, but you still get the look of linen and you still have, and you still be wearing a completely natural fibre as well, so it's going to be lovely and breathable. But it does have a lovely weight to it as well. So this definitely isn't sheer, this fabric. You definitely wouldn't need to line it. And it has, like I say, it's with it being 100% cotton, it definitely has a little bit of structure, but it would still gather in beautifully for the skirt. But again, a little bit like the needle cord fabric that I showed you, it's definitely going to have a slightly more structured look if you made it in this fabric, which I think, with the weight of the cotton, a little bit more structure and body, again, it would be lovely for those transitional seasons, where it's not really hot, but it's not absolutely freezing cold. You could wear it with tights when it is cooler, and wear it, with sandals when it's summer, and it'd be a really versatile garment in your wardrobe. It comes in loads of different colours. It's another core range. We stock it all the time. It's been quite a new addition to our core ranges, this one. We only added it last year, and it's already been really popular, and I can absolutely see why. I was really excited when we found this fabric, and really good one for the Montana dress. So next up we have this absolutely wonderful fabric. This is from Meat Milk, and it is the Smooth Drape Tensile Twill. So if you've ever felt Tensile before, you'll know what an incredibly beautiful, soft, just luxurious fibre that it is, and this fabric is no exception. It feels incredible, and that's the twill weave there, and it just feels incredible. It's wonderful. I absolutely love this fabric. It has the traditional or typical twill weave that you would expect from a Tensile twill, and you can see that wonderful drape that it has. So it certainly has a lot of body, and it's quite thick for a Tensile twill fabric, but it still has that wonderful drape because of the Tensile fibre that it's made from. So I put this in this midway category because even though it's Tensile and it's which is often thought of as a summery fibre because it's really breathable, it will keep you cool in summer. But because this is a twill, it's actually heavier. So I think again, it will be one of those that will take you all throughout the seasons. You'd just be able to wear it so much if you made it in this fabric. It comes in a whole range of colours, some really stunning colours in this collection, and I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. So next up we have, this is another crepe fabric. This is very different to anything that we've seen. Now this is called our tree bark stretch woven crepe. Now, if I hold that up to camera a bit closer, hopefully you'll be able to see that amazing texture. I mean, it's probably like the most textured crepe that I've seen. It's super, super textured. And that texture, it's created by it being pulled, the fabric fibres being pulled in. And what that does is it creates a fabric that feels a little bit thicker, which again is why we've put it in this midway category. It's a stretch woven, so it does have a lot of stretch for a woven fabric, nothing that way, just across the width of the fabric, which the pattern certainly doesn't call for a stretch fabric. However, I think this would still be ideal, and if anything would make it even more comfortable to wear, just having that added little bit of stretch. But the main thing I just loved about this fabric and the idea of it for the Montana is that wonderful texture. I think if you want just a plain fabric in a solid colour, this is such a lovely option because yes, it is just plain, but that texture just gives it an added something. And the weight and the thickness combined with that drape, oh, I think it would just be wonderful. It would gather up so well for the skirt part. Yeah, I think that will be an absolute winner. And again, this is another of our core ranges. It comes in a whole range of colours. Really fantastic price point on this one. Yeah, I think that will be a real winner. And the last fabric in our, the second to last fabric in our mid-weight category is a cotton chambray. Now this is our washed chambray that comes in, I think it's 4 or 5 different colours. So we have different shades of blue and like a charcoal grey black colour. Now this I think would also be great for summer as well. But I think just with it being a chambray, you could wear that all throughout the seasons, and yeah, it would just be a classic in the Montana, wouldn't it? With it being a chambray rather than a denim, it's definitely lighter weight than most denims, so it will hang well, it will gather beautifully into those drapes, and similarly to the needle cord and the linen look cotton that I showed you, it's definitely going to hold that shape a little bit more. Yeah, I just think that will be an absolute winner, and in a typical chambray colour like this, you just get so much wear out of it. That would be a really lovely option. So the last fabric in our midway sort of mid-section of fabrics is this beautiful one, and this is from Meat Milk, and it's called a check tensile twill. And again, oh, that feeling of tensile is just, oh, it's beautiful. It is so incredibly soft. It feels amazing. So this is quite similar to the ochre mustard coloured one that I showed you, but as you can see, this obviously has a gingham check that is woven into the fabric. So it's a very subtle two-tone gingham, which I think is really pretty, quite soft and understated, but really, really lovely. And again, that weight is going to make it great for so much of the year. It'll still keep you cool and it'll be breathable in summer, but that extra weight will make it last beyond, just when it's really, really hot. It comes in quite a few different colours, this one as well. So if this forest green isn't for you, there's lots of different colours. Yeah, again, that would be an absolute winner. So next we're on to the more summery fabric options. So first of all, I have this beautiful gingham. Now this is 100% cotton, yarn dyed, and it's a woven gingham. So it's the check isn't printed onto the surface, it's actually woven into the fabric. And yeah, it's just really, really lovely quality. Now we actually do this fabric in different sized checks and in all different colours. So you could definitely, choose the size check that you really like. If you prefer something smaller than this, then we have that available on the site. And like I said, there's loads of different colours. And I quite like the idea as well, if you say made the bodice in let's say a smaller check, and then the skirt in a larger check of the same colour, or perhaps choosing 2 colours of the same size check, one for the bodice and one for the skirt. I think that would be really lovely, and just something a bit different for that pattern. Certainly nothing that you're going to be able to find in the shops. It'd be really unique to you. I really love that idea. But even just in the one fabric, I love the scale of this gingham. I think that it just screams summer and would be wonderful for that pattern. It gathers beautifully. Again, it's going to have a little bit more structure and hold the shape a little bit more. But what a perfect gingham summer dress that would make. Next up, so this is a Mind the Maker fabric, and this is the Nisa softened linen. And this is absolutely beautiful. If you love linen, this is one of my favourites we have on the site. And the reason why is because it is a pure linen, it's 100% linen, but it still has quite a bit of drape for 100% linen. And it is really, really soft, as the name suggests. You know, it has gone through a process which makes it even softer than a typical 100% linen. Now, it is, like I say, 100% linen, so it is going to crease. There's no getting away from that with 100% linens. You know, if you chose a linen blend, that can certainly help with the creasing. Like, for example, our range of Minerva exclusive linens, which is a blend of 55% linen and 45% viscose, that creases nowhere near as much as what 100% linen does. But if you love linen and you know you're like me and you embrace the creases, it's all part of the charm of this sort of fabric, then this is an absolute beauty. Lots of colours available again, but I love this tealy blue colour. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Oh yeah, I think that would make an amazing summer in Montana dress. Next up we have another linen, but this one is very different to the last one. And this one is our textured linen viscose. And it has a very high percentage of viscose. I'll just check the percentage there. So yeah, it's 75% viscose and 25% linen. So what that means is, because there's more viscose than there is linen, you can't feel the linen in it as much. I mean, it's definitely there, you can feel it, and you can see the slubby weave in the texture, but you can't feel it, you know, it's not as crisp, for example, as that last fabric that was 100% linen. What you can really feel in this fabric is the viscose content, which just makes it so incredibly soft. It's absolutely beautiful. In my opinion, yeah, it certainly wouldn't need lining. I think with this you get the benefits of it being, you know, like a viscose challis, for example, incredibly soft, incredibly drapey, but you get the benefits of the weight and the beautiful weave that we love about linen, or I certainly love about linen. So for me, it's just, it's a wonderful cloth is this one. Another Minerva core range, so we stock this all the time, and it comes in a whole range of colours as well. I really love this colour. I think that'd be lovely for summer, any time of the year really. Really pretty shade, but there's loads of colours available. Yeah, I think that'd be perfect for the Montana. It's going to drape incredibly, but have enough weight to really hold the shape as well. Just absolutely gorgeous. So last up we have two Minerva exclusive viscose challis fabrics. So I've chosen two prints that are very different to each other. One that's definitely bright and colourful and very summery, and the other one that's definitely more pared back and a softer colour palette. Maybe one that you would want to wear, you know, you can certainly wear this in summer, but you know, it might take you through to you know, the transitional seasons as well. So this one is called Herbal Halo, and we all absolutely love this print here at Minerva. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Colours are beautiful. You can see how that drapes. It would make an absolutely wonderful Montana dress. I mean, this fabric is just, it's like it's been made for the pattern. It has enough weight so it's not see-through, so perfect for making the dress. The weight gives it the most fabulous drape, and of course with it being 100% viscose, it is so soft, so drapey. Oh, it would just be beautiful for the Montana. And then the other design, which is my really bright, beautiful print for summer, we have it on the dress form here as well. This is our design called Rose Relations, and look at that. I love this fabric. I have a piece of this at home and I'm going to make a dress. It could well even be the Montana, because I just think The Montana is one of those styles that, because it's quite simple, it can showcase, you know, a statement print, a bold print, something with a slightly larger scale. And I mean, what could be more beautiful than that fabric? Oh, I think that would be absolutely gorgeous. I really hope someone makes this and shares it on Minerva. I just think that would be amazing. So that's all the fabrics I had to share with you. Right through from the wintry ones to mid-season to the really summery options. Let me know which of those fabrics were your favourite. Have I inspired you to give any of these fabrics a go, or have a go at sewing up the Montana midi dress? So many people have already sewn this pattern. It's just so popular, and yeah, it's just a fantastic design to wear throughout all the seasons, and tailor your fabric to make it, you know, exactly what you want. It looks fabulous in a print, fabulous in a solid. There's just so many options. So I hope what I shared with you today was really inspiring and that you enjoyed taking a look through those with me. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and give us a follow. We'd really appreciate that. As always, everything that I've spoke about today, we will tag below this video on Minerva. So if you want to go and have a look at the pattern, first of all, you'll be able to see all the versions that the Minerva community have made. It's really good to see it on people of all different shapes and sizes, read the experiences of people with all different levels of sewing ability, you can see how they found the fit, what fabric they used. It's just really inspiring to see all those different versions that have been made. And then of course on all the fabrics you can click on any of those. That will show you all the different colours that are available, and you'll also be able to see those fabrics made up in different garments, just to give you even more inspiration and ideas of all the sorts of things you can make. So thank you very much for watching today. I really enjoyed going through those fabrics with you. I hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time.